afternoon. It's Saturday, and I am Bruce Leonard. Welcome to Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today. Well, it's becoming more and more questionable by the day. The National Guard isn't outside my house yet. That's good. They raided John Bolton's house. I don't know if you saw that. Told me. Trump didn't know nothing about it. He didn't know nothing about it. He knows nothing. You ever notice that? He always knows nothing. When something is questionably legal, he knows nothing about it. But he knows everything about everything else at all times. Except for, the questionably illegal things that he does all the time. Ghislaine Maxwell, they released the transcript between Trump's personal attorney, who is also the assistant attorney general, and Ghislaine Maxwell, who, of course, said she never saw Trump do anything, but she also says she never did anything. She also said that she never saw anybody else do anything. And that those women only wanted young girls because they were invigorating and they were up to date on music. Like, I need a girl who will tell me about the wonders of Taylor Swift because I'm a 65-year-old man. That's like, if you have any doubt what kind of disingenuous cocksuckers you're really dealing with, just turn on the right-wing media or Fox News or Newsmax or OAN and pick your choice, and how they're all talking about Ghislaine Maxwell now, how she's some kind of fucking saint. These people have no morals or principles whatsoever about anything. If you're a conservative, you can just shut the fuck up and stop talking to me because I'm not listening to a fucking thing that you say. It's like watching a turd fall out of someone's ass, when you start talking. It's like, it's if you claim to be a patriot and you're all about putting the military on the streets of the United States, you're a piece of shit. You're a fascist. You're not an American. I mean, you might have been born here. You might have papers that say you're an American, but you're not an American. And you don't love freedom. You don't love anything. Remember when all the militias used to say, you need to have your guns to protect yourselves from a tyrannical government? The tyrannical government, when the black man was president. Right? Now there's an actual tyrannical government with orange man as president. And no one seems to care. It's unbelievable. It is literally unbelievable just how far we've fallen down this fucking hole. Now, they raided John Bolton's house. What were they looking for? Classified documents. Remember that Kash Patel said that it was a hoax and that they should never have raided Mar-a-Lago even though they found boxes and boxes and boxes of classified documents in the shitter. And they should have done that. That was the overreach of an authoritarian government, And John Bolton has been harshly criticizing Trump ever since he stopped working for him. And, coincidentally, they're raiding his house. Now, they have all of these National Guard, FBI agents, DEA agents, all over D.C. standing on the corner, standing in front of monuments, doing nothing. And the other agents they have raiding the houses of Trump's enemies, And meanwhile, who's protecting you from crime, from terrorism? You know, speaking of that, all these Republican governors are sending National Guard to Washington, D.C., right? Meanwhile, their cities have higher crime rates than Washington, D.C. What are they, what are they doing in their states? The answer is absolutely nothing. Apparently, every Republican's job in the United States now is to lick the balls of Donald Trump vociferously at all times. I don't know how they even talk with this fucking sack down their throat. It's actually, I said, quite impressive bit of ventriloquism that they do. Meanwhile, that bitch Nancy Mace trying to run for governor, right? She had a speech set up. 4 people showed up. 4. All the work she's been doing. All the internet trolling she's been trying to do. All the energy she's put into trying to build up a reputation for being the biggest bitch on the planet. And 4 people showed up. I could get more people to show up tonight to me telling jokes and having been on stage for months. I can get more people to show up to watch me play music with my new band. And I haven't played music in 10 years. It's pretty bad for her. But I'm sure she'll get reelected to her seat in Congress. Because this country is dumb as fuck. It's intolerably stupid. It's so bad that I don't even think I could. I mean, I said, if I wasn't stuck here, I'd be gone already. And to live surrounded by such morons is intolerable. Canada looking better and better all the time. Now, Canada's cold, and I don't really like the cold. But at least you're not surrounded by moronic, racist assholes. I mean, I'm sure there's racists. I mean, there's racists everywhere, but there's more liberals in Canada than there are. You know, Tom McDonald is popular on the internet. But I don't know about Canada, you know. I don't know how popular he is in Canada. He probably is popular, but he's probably way more popular down here than he is up there. If you don't know who Tom McDonald is, he's a horrible white rapper who raps, right-wing raps. he had Roseanne Barr with them doing raps. I don't know how long, maybe 6 months ago, maybe. Roseanne Barr is another one, grasping for relevance. So you have all this stuff going on, right? What's all the rage in right wing? Cracker Barrel! The Cracker Barrel! They took the old white guy off the label. Oh no! It's unbelievable. Distraction after distraction after distraction. It's like all because you got suckered by a con man and a pedophile. And now you just refuse to admit it. Remember I said a lot of times that this was a psychological experiment? I take that back. It's not a psychological experiment. Well, I guess now, instead of saying how much shit will these people take before they admit they were wrong, now it's like, how much bullshit will they spew to hold their position? Which is an intolerable position. Yo. Here's my problem. They already shit all over the Constitution multiple times, okay? So you cannot sit here and tell me that these people care about the Constitution of the United States. They do not care. Okay, so stop wrapping yourself in a flag and pretending like you're a patriotic American. You're not. What you want is something that's not America. You want to live in Russia. And Trump doesn't work for Vladimir Putin, but apparently he's in love with him. Because the other day he was showing pictures of him and Putin like a little schoolgirl, like he's all giddy, and like he said, "Oh, they gotta stop this war," and he's just increased the attacks. As a matter of fact, he bombed an American factory in Ukraine. Not one word from Trump. Not one word. He loves Vladimir Putin like a little boy loves a puppy dog. It's it's quite sickening, really. And then the people just say, "Oh, Trump is a pillar of strength. he's he's strong. That's why people don't like him if he's so strong that Vladimir Putin shits all over him constantly. He loves it." How did we get here? I don't know. Trump's having a press conference, I swear to God, with a hat on that says, "Trump was right about everything." Who does that? I mean, I've already gone over, like, wearing your own t-shirt and shit is a douchebag move, but wearing a hat with your name on it that says you're right about everything is a level of dumbass narcissism that I can't even fathom. I can't even wrap my head around how fucking dumb it is. It's This country is fucked. We are way down the road of fascism now. Like, and almost in no turning back. And Trump says, "Oh, after he's done with Washington, he's going to send these troops. Everybody's going to send them to Chicago, going to send them to New York." It's And people are just taking it. People are just taking it. I mean, we shouldn't say that, because in Washington they chased ICE out of this neighborhood. That was pretty cool to watch. They said, "This is our neighborhood. ICE, get out!" And then ICE had to get in their cars and drive off. And like, that's the spirit, but there's not enough of that going on. Truth is, as soon as he put them troops in Washington, we should have general strikes across the whole country. A million people should have marched on Washington. They should have flooded the streets with people. They should have said, "Fuck you." This is un-American. And, the Congress should have said something. Did they? No. Nope. They raided John Bolton's house. It's highly illegal. And am I a fan of John Bolton? No. Never have been. It's funny when the fascist gets fashed upon. That's pretty funny. Like, oh, fascism came for John Bolton. Well, he was kind of for it. But it just shows you that no one is safe. If you don't lick Trump's balls, you're not safe. I'm not safe right now. If I had more people watching, I'd be on the list. That's another thing again. People always say, "Oh yeah, I support you, and I'm with this, and I'm with that, and I don't like Trump, and I don't like this, and I don't like that." There's a woman that I work with that she's like that. She comes in every day, and she wants to start talking to me about things that I talked about on the show, like the day before. It was like, "Yeah, I talked about this yesterday on the show." "No, I didn't watch." Of course not. Of course you didn't. Because people aren't really about half the things they say they're about. That's what's wrong with this country. Everyone's just living in their own little bubble until they're directly affected. It doesn't matter to them. Obregon Garcia is finally free, right? 24 hours he was free. Right? Now they're already like, "We're going to deport him." Where are they going to send him to? Uganda. Man's got a wife and a kid. You're going to send him to Uganda. because their family values people. These people, they care about people. They don't care about anybody. You know why they're sending them to Uganda? So they don't have to have that jury trial for them bullshit charges they're trying to put on them. Because they know if they go to that trial, that their bullshit will be exposed. Don't you get what happens? It's the Trump playbook, right? He does something horrible and illegal they shouldn't do. Then, when he's called out on it, right, by the courts or the media or whoever else, he runs some distraction for a while until people forget about whatever it was that he did. You know, people kind of forgot about Abrego Garcia for a minute. And then now he's released, and now they're like, we're shipping it to Uganda. If they believe in that case, why wouldn't they go to court? Because they don't have a case. It's made up. It's literally made up. The Justice Department, the FBI, they're nothing but Trump stooges now. I don't think that you realize just how bad you've fucked your own country. Trump met with Vladimir Putin, right? A week later, Tulsi Gabbard's like, I'm going to dismantle the intelligence services. Really? Was that orders from Vladimir Putin? Because that's what it seems like. And people say, he doesn't work for Vladimir Putin. It's a hoax. It's all a witch hunt and a hoax. And Russia. Well, it seems like Russia is giving him orders. It's like at all times. He's in the Oval Office, flashing a picture of him and Vladimir Putin together. They said like a schoolgirl crush. And nobody thinks that this is unusual in any way. We're through the glass of like, it doesn't matter what happens, what right in front of your face. People are living in a deluded state of cultism where it doesn't matter. I guarantee you that these people wouldn't care if Trump tried to either just stay in power and cancel elections, or, you know, they're not Americans. These people are the enemy from within. That the Constitution clearly states all enemies, foreign and domestic. MAGA is a domestic enemy movement. They want to destroy the fabric of what America is and was, and replace it with the Christian nationalist, white supremacist. I guess they think it's a utopia, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what you would call it. It's not America. Not the America that, you know, it's clearly not what's written in the Constitution, because they want to get rid of separation church and state. They want to put black and brown people back into a status where they barely even exist at all. I mean, and if they do exist, they don't have any rights. They don't want them to vote. They're drawing maps that just pretty much eliminate the votes of Hispanics and black people. And people are all for this. So I'm all for it. This is what I voted for. Yeah, because you're a Nazi prick. There ain't no more beating around the bush about it. This is Germany. Now, we don't have death camps yet, but you keep going down this road. That's the inevitable conclusion. I know that people don't want to hear this stuff, as I said, and just like 10 years ago when I tried to warn you and others, I tried to warn the whole world, really, but no one's listening. Said, oh, you're hysterical. You're insane. You're crazy. These aren't Nazis. Well, but they're all walking around like this, with torches, and you're like, these are Nazis. Oh, no. You just don't agree with the politics. Like, yes, I don't, because they're Nazi politics. They're Nazis, bro. Period. If you still don't believe that, and they lie constantly. Remember when they put the guard out, they said, oh, they won't be carrying weapons. They're just going to be, helping police. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, Haig says sign the thing. Oh, they can carry the weapons. Really? Why do they need to carry weapons? What are they doing? And why is Trump allowed to just say anything is an emergency, whether it is or isn't? He's like, oh, the clouds are out today. It's a national emergency. That means I have superpowers to do whatever I want, And people just take this shit. The corporate media just goes along with it. They don't want to lose access to the president. Let me ask you a question. What's the point of having access to someone who lies to you constantly? I don't believe that Trump is even capable of telling the truth about anything at this point, because all he does is lie constantly about every single fucking thing. So, Congress subpoenaed the Epstein files. You know about that, right? And they were supposed to start releasing them, right? Well, they released some. They gave them some files. All the files they gave them were already public. Total amount of files released, less than 1%. And you're telling me that they're not hiding something. They're hiding something. If they weren't hiding something, then why is it like pulling teeth to try to get something out of them? Why do they give Ghislaine Maxwell an interview where she gives them nothing? Nothing! That can advance the case at all. And she gets moved to a minimum security camp out of prison. Pardon will be next. And the mega people will go along with this. Charlie Kirk, that fucking piece of shit. Remember, he was like, oh, I'm going to let this Epstein thing go. And now he's like, we need to put the military in every city. Because I want to know something about these conservatives. They always say that they're alpha males, but they're terrified of every single thing that ever happens. They're like, oh, I can't walk in the streets of a city because I'm terrified. It's like, you're not an alpha male, bro. You're a pussy. Which is what we used to call a huge pussy. And Markway Baldwin was like, oh, when I drive around D.C., I don't even wear my seatbelt because I'm afraid they're going to carjack me. I want to be able to jump out of my car and run away as fast as possible. Because you're a pussy, bro. Huge pussy. I say it right to their faces. Cowards. They're cowards. Racist, hateful cowards who live in fear of every single thing. And that's why they feel like they need a strong man to protect them from, from whatever fucking imaginary threats that are in their minds. I don't know if you've been watching Gavin Newsom. Like I said on the last episode, Gavin Newsom, you might have some problems with Gavin Newsom. And I have problems with Gavin Newsom. He's made a lot of mistakes. But like I said before, I think he was trying to play the traditional politician game where he's trying to reach out to the other side, and like there isn't more reaching out to the other side. They're gone. These people are gone. They're not even Americans anymore, like as I've said already. They want to destroy this country and rebuild something else in its place. It is not America. You want a detention camp in all 50 states? You're not an American, bro. And they say, oh, we're only going after the criminals. Really? Meanwhile, All kinds of videos of them, tackling taco vendors and fucking, roofers at Home Depot trying to get a job. These aren't criminals. Then they go, well, they came in the country illegally, that makes them a criminal. Like, just say you don't like brown people, dude. Just say it. Stop with the fucking thinly veiled gaslight bullshit that you're not a racist. You're a racist. Embrace it. See that they won't because, like I said, they're fucking cowards. They can't even stand up and say what they are. They hide behind a veil of, patriotism and we support the police. So yeah, because you're a pussy, bro. You're a coward. Mega's a bunch of cowards. And now Newsom, I don't know if you've been watching, but he starts signing deals with other countries. Like he signed some deal with Denmark for cooperation in California, between California and them. If you ask me, I think that he's preparing for the inevitability that what does that mean? $1,000. He's preparing for the inevitability that we might leave this country. This country's going to split, or it's going to have a civil war, or something's going to happen because these people are off the chain, man. Who wants to be affiliated with Texas anyway? At this point, they've already proven what they are. They wouldn't release their slaves. Now they just want to draw them, districts and draw them out of existence. You want to go back to the three-fifths compromise where the people weren't even... we need them to be counted for our representation in the Congress, but we don't want them to have rights. It's unbelievable. And people just take it. That's the other thing, like I said, we need to change the national anthem because we're no longer free or brave. This is a country filled with cowardly, racist fucking pieces of shit. And they're at least 30 to 35% of the population. And what they want is to establish a system where that 30 to 35% can control everything. That's not democracy. It's not even a democratic republic. It's a dictatorship. Now Trump took over 10% of Intel. The company Intel that makes computer chips. You know what that is? That's Stalinism, my friends. Communism. Remember they said, all of us are radical left communists, but now they're taking over the means of production. Who's the communist? That's what I'm saying. Every accusation that they make is a reflection of themselves. And then people are going for this. People say, oh, this is what I voted for. Yeah, communism. But again, it's Stalinism. It's not communism because even though they don't know what these words mean. They've used these words. Communism has never been practiced in its real form because it's always just a dictatorship. What they're doing in Russia now, they say, oh, it's not communist. It's not. It's Stalinist. Where the Russian government controls all the business, the rich oligarchs control everything, and they run the country and they run the business. It's an oligarchy. And I said it's Stalinism. Period. Trump wants to be, one of these guys. They don't believe in the Constitution of the United States. They shit on it any chance they can get. Now they're going after their enemies with the apparatus of the state. And people don't care. It's unbelievable. People, oh, Americans have all these guns to protect myself from tyranny, and then here comes the tyranny. Well, I just go to work, you know. It's like, when are you gonna fight this tyranny, bro? You're not going to. You know why they have all those guns? Like I told you before, because they're cowards. This country is filled with a bunch of spineless fucking cowards. It's unbelievable what's happened to us because it wasn't always like this. In the 60s and the 70s, my parents, your parents, they fought for shit. That's why we have all these rights. Their children just giving it all away, shitting all over their parents' and grandparents' legacies. Your grandfather fought Nazis in Germany, died, some of them, fighting, to protect you from fascism that people now just vote for. Just, if you were to run like a history of this country, it's like the last 25 years or so, or even more than that. That's after Nixon. I said already before, when Nixon was ousted from office, conservatives right then decided that the system itself did not work for them because their fascist criminal president was exposed and got thrown out of office. And ever since then, the entire apparatus of the conservative movement has been built and geared towards destroying that system. First, they spent 25 years or so, going after the press, destroying the press. Said the press is nothing but communists, liberals, and you can't believe anything they say. Meanwhile, all they do is lie constantly. I said that a million times. If it's really a war of ideas, and you're all about ideas, then why are you spending all your time talking about the Cracker Barrel? Because they don't have any ideas. Their whole idea is to create a culture war, a division. To convince you that there's some kind of movement that is designed to destroy your entire way of life, which is, your entire way of life was pretty much shit before, wasn't it? What is this culture that they want to hold on to? Slavery, segregation, it's fascism, Iran-Contra, NASCAR. That's the only thing they got. NASCAR rodeos. That's white people culture. it's unbelievable. Like, are you proud to be an American? No. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I used to be. The idea of America is still a noble thing. But a lot of people have decided that that idea is worthless now. Because we had a black president. And, oh, you know what happens after that? It's like, remember all the things they said Barack Obama would do? Right? And he didn't do any of those things. Trump's doing all those things. But it's okay, because Trump's white. Well, he's orange, but if you strip away the orange makeup, he's very pale white dude. And that's okay, because, that's how it's supposed to be. It's like, meanwhile, the White House is being filled up with tacky fucking knickknacks, more than like a trailer in an Alabama trailer park, filled with Avon knickknacks, and it's gold-plated this and that and the other. The Rose Garden is now a patio with umbrella tables on it, like a rich fancy country club. I mean, if they call it a rich fancy country club. That's what I think is really funny. They call it a rich fancy country club. Umbrella tables on a patio. Woo! This is fancy. It's like, no, he's white trash, bro. You can give a guy $1 billion, he's still white trash. And when you point this out to people, and when you're a white person who is for social justice and shit, they say, "Oh, you hate yourself, you self-hating white man." Is like, I'm not self-hating. I don't hate myself. I hate you because you're a piece of shit. Being born white is not doesn't make you better than anybody else, despite the bullshit propaganda that they tell you, despite the privileges that you might be, See, that's the other thing is white privilege is only bestowed upon the good white people who follow the leaders and lick the boots. I'm white. I've been harassed my whole life by the police. Why? Because I'm not the right kind of white person. I'm the poor kid that lived down at the dead-end street with hippie parents. And in the end, that makes you a target. All them liberals live down at the end of the street. Harass the shit out of them. That's like... He was like, you're white privilege. It never helped me none. Well, I shouldn't say that. Like, they never beat the shit out of me, but they did chase me around, arrest me wherever they could. But they didn't beat the fuck out of me or try to shoot me, So I guess that's kind of privileged. It's better than the rights they attribute minorities, which is none. The whole system is a mind fuck. And it always has been. Designed to sell you this idea that you're free. But you're not free. You've never been free. Truth is, America's always been a police state. It's just ramped up now, like it's on steroids. It's the veil is lifted. I said Barack being elected made him take off the mask. They believe that it's an existential threat to their very existence if minorities are empowered. I guess they believe that that minorities someday would turn on them or something, which is bullshit. They're just happy to be free finally, or they were, and now they're not free again. It's like the whole system is a fucking, like I said, garbage, trash. Always has been. Like I said, all of that mythological bullshit that they sell you is just what I said, mythological bullshit. That Christopher Columbus was a good dude. It's like, they weren't good people. The conquerors and rapists, murderers, thieves. It's like, that's how this country was founded. On rape, murder, thievery. It stole everything we have. They go, oh, this country's the greatest country that manifests destiny. It's like, what destiny is that? White people in charge. That's what... White rule forever. Minority white rule forever. If you can sit here and tell me with a straight face that these people aren't racist, still, after all of this, like I said, you're not even living in reality. You're living in a deluded, invented fantasy world that you've invented yourself. It's unbelievable. I keep saying it's unbelievable. I mean, it's really not unbelievable. When you think about what this country is, was, and always has been. We just, like I said, we managed to throw like a blanket over it for a few years. After the 50s, when they got rid of segregation, people had to be forced to integrate schools. Forced. By courts, laws, and the very FBI that is now going after their enemies and trying to reestablish that which they created. This experiment has failed in America. It's failed. It's no longer uh, uh, experiment democracy, a great melting pot. It's not a melting pot. It's a pot full of shit, mostly bullshit. And I said, Trump has just released the took the mask off. This is how these people have always thought. You gave this guy power once, and everyone tried to warn you that this guy's unhinged and out of control. And what happened? You just voted for him again? They just fired the guy who gave the report that said that Iran's nuclear program was not obliterated. So it's a fact. If you don't toe the line, you don't repeat Trump's bullshit, you are in trouble. You are to be fired. You are to be investigated. You are to be maybe thrown in jail. Because they can't keep up this lie without willing participants. Everyone in this administration is full of shit. Criminals, really. There should. I keep like, when are they going to blow the whistle? When are we going to get it on? When is there going to be a real revolution? Because that's what needs to happen. But like I said, everyone in this country is cowards. Nobody wants to risk anything. Nobody wants to fight anything. Everybody wants to just keep their head down and keep their fucking little shitty life going, even though their little shitty life is an illusion too. It's mostly themselves swimming in debt. And they owe thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of credit card debt and mortgage debt, and to the 12 or 13 billionaires who control this country. People say, well, we're all about freedom. Like, well, then what are you doing? What are you doing about it? I'm trying to take care of my mom the best I can. I'm trying to maintain my life the best I can. But I'm still trying to fight however I can. Sitting here and doing this is part of that. At least I'm using my time constructively. I'm trying to do something. And as soon as you want to blow that whistle, I'll be out in the street with you. Let's do it. Because that's what's going to happen. This country cannot last this way. I already said I'm in the secessionist, camp now. I'm like, we just need to cut this country in two. Let them have their fascist utopia. We can create our own America the way it's supposed to be, right next to them, and watch them slide slowly into bankruptcy and moral decay. Because that's what will happen. Without liberal states, those red states will go broke. That's the unfortunate truth. And that's why you can't have secession. They won't allow it to happen. Why? Because they need the money that comes from California and New York and these other places. Trump says he's going to send the military to Chicago. Good luck with that. Chicago's the gun capital of the world. People getting shot left and right all over the place in Chicago. You think those people are going to sit back? I say go for it, because I said that's when the war will start. People in Chicago will fight, I think. I mean, there's some who will. There's a lot of people in Chicago that live off the grid. Gangsters. Real gangsters. They're going to take that shit. They'll fight. And then you'll have the military killing American citizens on the streets of America. And what is that? What does that lead to? I said, this is a dangerous game they're playing. It's easy to say, we're going to send the military, send them standing in front of the Washington Monument, if it's a good photo op. It's like, yeah, but when you start sending them to Chicago, places like that, Oakland, it's like, it's not going to be pretty. I said, I think Newsom is preparing for the eventuality that maybe California would have to break off and become its own country. I don't know if you know this, but California is the fourth largest economy in the world, larger than a lot of countries themselves. California would be just fine. California don't need the federal government. The truth is, California pays more taxes, and those taxes goes to shitholes like Mississippi and Alabama to keep them afloat. Those places are shitholes. The South itself is a shithole. It's That's it. Was propped up by slavery, and after slavery was gone, was propped up by federal tax dollars. You take all that away, what do you got? A shithole. Wait, I said I was in Alabama. They still have dial gas pumps. You know, tell me that this state can fucking survive on its own? Hell no. They'll be back to putting mustard in the fucking barbecue sauce. Putting vinegar and everything because they ain't got nothing else. It's unbelievable. So I've been doing what I've always done. I'm just watching and writing and creating art, trying my best to put something into the fucking, zeitgeist of, that might wake people up or, but the truth is, no one really cares. It's just like all the right wingers that all of a sudden wake up one day and realize, wait a minute, Rage Against the Machine is woke. That means they were never listening to what they were saying in the first place. It's not like the old days when, like, the Clash could write a record and people would listen to what Joe Strummer was saying, go, yeah, and then they get excited and they do something, because back then there wasn't all these distractions. Everything's a distraction now. There's a screen in your hand at all times, and it's pumping propaganda into your face at all times. You turn on the TV, it's all cable fucking fascist propaganda networks pumping propaganda and bullshit into your brain at all times. Turn on regular corporate media, what are they doing? They're just normalizing all this because they don't want to lose access to the White House. Even though the White House is already gone, my friends. When reporters are afraid to say the truth, you don't have a media anymore, do you? Got a bunch of lapdogs who suck up Trump's lies and go, well, the president said this. It's totally not true, but that's what he said. The media should have gathered all together and said, we're not going to take this anymore. And like I said, they've got whistles or air horns, and whenever they start fucking talking bullshit, they should just blow them horns and blow them whistles. It's like, hey, what you just said is complete bullshit. We'll come back to you when you feel like telling the truth, which is never. The truth is, their ideas are shit. They don't have any real ideas. The real ideas are to destroy everything that you hold dear. But they can't just come out and say that, so they gotta gaslight you. You gotta take away women's rights, forced births. It's like that thing I was saying. It's like, because they need babies born into shithole conditions and trapped in that situation so that they have slaves to run their little empire, and who are so strapped in debt and put down like dogs that they can't fight back. It's bleak. All the dystopian novels that you've ever written, they're coming true right now. I was talking about somebody else the other day, like all these 1984 and Brave New World, all this stuff has come true. And as soon as the robots come, the androids, all of Philip K. Dick's prophecies will come true. We just haven't gotten to the science fiction part of the dystopian nightmare yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Meanwhile, Elon Musk already abandoned his third party idea. I've never seen a guy like Elon Musk. He's the richest guy in the world, right? But his richness is propped up by tax dollars. So therefore, he's under the thumb of Trump because Trump could threaten to take away his money at any time. And that's what happened. You know, Trump called him up, you know he did, and said, hey, if you keep running this third party thing, we're just going to cut all your contracts and take all your money away. And now all of a sudden, well, can't do that. I got to focus on my business. Because it's all bullshit. Musk never cared about anything except his own self-aggrandizement, which is just like Trump and all these people. They're all about money and power, and that's it. They don't give two shits about you or me. Never have. It's an illusion that they care about anything except maintaining the status quo, which is white rule. And I know people will say, you're hysterical, you're crazy. You know, say all this stuff has happened. Everything I've said has come true. And they still will say, you're crazy. Because they don't live in reality. I wish that these things weren't true. You don't know how bad I wish they weren't. I don't want this to be happening. But it is what's happening. And if you don't face the reality of your situation, you're doomed to failure. I just been slowly, like I said, gathering up the things that I need. Was when the shit does hit the fan, you better be ready. Like Cypress Hill said, when the shit goes down, you better be ready. You better be ready. Because it's going down at some point. Now, I might not be here to see it. And I've said that my whole life, but now here I am seeing it. It's gone so far, so fast, that I'm pretty sure I'm going to see it. I would like to make a bold prediction and be like, you know, it's going to happen in the next 10 years, but I don't know. Trump's already trying to rig the game by making all the Republican states redraw their maps, trying to create more Republican seats out of thin air, because he knows that if it's a legitimate vote, that he will lose. When it comes to 2028, if you think that he's going to step down willingly, he's going to be like 95. He's like, I'm not leaving. He's going to die in office. Probably interned like Lenin was, you know, like in a glass box in the White House. So you have to look at his dead body for the rest of eternity. It's like, I'm sure that's what he wants. The ultimate narcissistic fucking, you know, bullshit fucking dream. There's nothing I want more than to destroy these people. I need a few more of you to get on board. Like, it's like, we still keep talking like we're going to vote our way out of this. Like, we're not going to vote our way out of this. It's not going to happen. They're not going to allow that to happen. If you want to get back your freedom, you're going to have to fight for it. That's the unfortunate reality. Like I said, people don't like reality. They don't like to contemplate like what's really happening. What's really happening is, like I said, all your worst dystopian nightmares come true. All the predictions of Orwell, Huxley, Hunter S. Thompson. You know, these people are way ahead of the curve. And people who saw the reality of this country tried to warn you. People don't even read books now. Soon those books will be banned, I'm sure. It'll be hard to find them. I don't know what to tell you. Because, like I said, I've been trying and nobody seems to give a shit. So Here I am, a lone voice in the wind. That's like, that guy's crazy. He might be. I might be crazy. And I'm writing some songs. I said I'm doing some stuff. I'm doing this. Got my comedy album, which says some things if you care to listen. But I've been saying shit my whole life. No one cares. No one listens. But I keep just leaving it, leaving it behind me. It's all there. One day maybe people will find it. Because this guy was talking shit. And he was right about everything, But I'm still not going to wear a hat that says, Bruce Leonard was right about everything, because I'm not a fucking narcissistic douchebag. It's like, I was right about everything, though. Most of it. Not all of it. Most of it. Only a narcissist would say he was right about every single thing. It's like, no. Trump's been wrong about all kinds of shit. But he's still wearing that hat, right about everything, because if you just say it, it will be so. Anyway, my friend Charlie, who used to play drums in my old band, he's playing in his new band tonight, and I'm going out to support him. Like I said, you got to try to at least maintain your sanity somehow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out and try to have fun. You should go out and try to have fun. As I said, even though we sit here and we talk about all this stuff, and it's very dark, and it's very disturbing, and it's very, can drain you of hope. But that's what they want. They want you hopeless. They want you to feel helpless, to feel like there's nothing you can do. But there's lots you can do. Soon you'll realize there's lots you can do. Because their incompetence is also going to destroy the financial systems that we work under. And sooner or later, there's going to be a collapse. Of economic collapse. And when that happens, and people don't have jobs, then they'll fight. I'm pretty sure that that's what's got to happen. As long as people have their cushy little job, they'll keep going. Because people are like monkeys. They're trained. You got to get up. You got to go to your shitty job. You got to obey your boss like a good little worker. And pay your bills. It's a fucking joke. All of it. One day you'll wake up and you realize it's just a machine and you're just a cog in it. And they don't give a fuck about you. And they never have. And they never will. The only way to free yourself from it is to fight. People don't want to confront that reality, but it's the truth. So anyway, I'm going to go out and have some drinks maybe and enjoy my friend's band playing some music. And you should do the same. I love you guys. I'll be back on Tuesday, 6 o'clock as usual. And I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal for now. We'll see how long it lasts. I love you guys. I said I'll be back on Tuesday. Thank you for watching, and good night.